Hello, everyone, and welcome into MVP Sports. I am your host for today, Soapy Muffins, and I'm joined for a special edition of a mock. Before I was gonna just record this as just me. The mock got posted before. My 1.0. And we talked about it a little bit in the Discord. And Dave was talking about wanting to make some content. But he wasn't really getting a chance to. So I extended a helping hand and I brought him on. As I already said his name, here's my wonderful co-host, Dave Oster.
Appreciate it. Thank you. And again, I appreciate the invite on because making content's hard for me. So, given that nice push through the doorway, I appreciate that.
I mean, hey, I know you're a draft guy. It's draft season at this point.
Yes.
I mean, both our teams are out the playoffs, so at this point, we're just spectators of other teams winning.
Yeah. It's guilt-free basketball. You get to enjoy without all the drama and trauma of, living and dying with each and every game. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I've known this for, what was the stat that came out of how long every team's been out of the playoffs? Mine's been out of it, like, for 1,000-something days.
Yeah, somehow not the worst.
157. So, I mean, hey,
Could be the Kings.
That is true. They literally doubled everyone else. So, but before we get into the draft, we are going to run through some housekeeping real quick. So, for instance, let's first get it off the table. Go to the Discord in the description down below. There, you can join in on Draft Talk. For instance, ever since basically all our teams have gotten eliminated, we have just all started talking about the draft all the time. We talk about it basically in every chat at this point. But I mean, hey, you could join the conversation no matter where it's happening, and you could also go back and see my sadness of having to change my name from Paulo Inbound to Shaden Sharp Inbound. Truly sad times during that. As well, you're already watching us MVP Sports, but if you'd like to head over and swing over to MVP Entertainment, there we should be having some content coming out soon. I know I mentioned in the other mock, we gotta still get the ball rolling on that, but whenever that happens, it happens. But besides that, if you want to check us out on Twitter, I'm pretty sure our Twitter's maybe in the description. I honestly don't know. I never check descriptions, to be honest. I never
always follow my Twitter. That's the important thing here, Soapy.
You gotta follow Dave's Twitter specifically. He's got some real spicy takes on constant takes that it's just like, whew, I don't know how you haven't been banned yet, to be honest.
People want to hear from me, so I give people what they want.
Yeah. And finally, if you'd like to support us at a monetary value, you can go to patreon.com/mvids. There you can support us at 1 to 4 tiers: bronze, silver, golden, platinum. I don't think it's platinum, but fuck it, it's platinum now. But besides that, let's get into the mock. Alright, so there we go. The intro is recorded. Well, close enough. Close enough. If they don't see it pop up, they'll start slapping underscores and spaces and things like that.
They'll figure it out. I trust people.
Yeah. You gotta think, if you look up MVP, sometimes we're not the first thing that pops up. So
weird.
Yeah, sometimes it's. But it also mostly depends on what point of any season you're watching. Sometimes random fucking videos will pop up, then you get all the actual MVP conversations, then you get us. We're just like, hey, we're here. All right. Ready to record the first half, Dave?
I am good to go. Sorry, as you can tell, I'm definitely still playing with my Fanspo lineups.
Don't worry, it's A-okay.
Yes, just fucking kick me and start it. What? I knew that was in there.
Alright, so let's get into the draft. So the way we're doing this is me and Dave are alternating picks. I start off first, because obviously this is the way that we can get it, that each of us get our own team. Turns out, I get one of Dave's, I basically get almost all of Dave's actual teams he likes watching.
And we'll make it work.
Yeah, I'll find a way. I'll get made fun of when I pick the wrong guy for the Rockets. So
I will let you know my feelings.
Oh yeah, no, I know that'll happen. Oh, but starting with the first overall pick, I have the Orlando Magic taking Chet Holmgren. I mean, I know there's rumors coming out that they're really big into Jabari, which, I mean, hey, shout out to Jabari for being, talked about number 1. Really proud of him. I don't know if I'd take him number 1, though.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just have the fear of Chet looks so physically off that you take the sure thing and the guy who can shoot from the outside who looks like a catch and shoot guy in Jabari, but you got to realize Chet can shoot too. So like, I'm with you. I think that's the right pick. I think that's 100% the pick that Magic should take in this situation. So, hey, golf clap to you. Good job.
I mean, it always goes that like that.
So then with the second overall pick, belonging to Oklahoma City Thunder, disappointed that the best player in the draft class is off the board. I have a decision to make. I can go Jabari or I can go Paolo. And I think that a team like OKC, we're still worried about the future. The real target is Victor next year. So I'm going to take Jabari because I think that best case scenario, we got a jumbo ball handler who can shoot the ball on the outside, continue to space the floor out for us. Defensively, he's pretty good. All around solid. It feels like he's got a high floor though. That's what I'm really trying to make sure is I have spacing, I have size, I have a very high floor. I think that ball handling wise, we've got a ton of great guys between having Shea and Josh Giddey on this team. I'm not concerned. I don't need another secondary creator in someone like Paolo. So I feel really good about getting Jabari at 2 for OKC.
Yeah. Like, personally, for me, I probably would have gone Paolo, and it's just because the fact of, like, it gives them another go-to scorer. But, I mean, hey, Jabari could grow into that role.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, even if he just caps out as kind of being, like, a third or fourth guy, like, I mean, that's still incredible value for what he's able to do for a basketball. You can't really go wrong with either.
See, we say that today. Let's not put things out there, because I could go wrong. Something could go wrong with him.
I mean, I gotta be optimistic for Thunder fans, okay?
They've got 17 more first-round picks in the next 4 years. I don't care. Something will hit. Oh. They're gonna get Victor next year. That's all I know.
I mean, hey, you never know. My team could be in the trenches fighting as the train goes by. That's OKC getting really mad that we brought up the 17 picks, but hey, you guys can be happy knowing you could basically just trade for anyone with all 17 picks.
Will they stop tanking next year? No. Could they be a 40-win team? Maybe.
Yeah, and they'd still probably have lottery picks.
Yes.
Up the fucking ass. But yeah, so moving on to the Rockets at 3, I have them taking Paolo Banchero. And, I mean, honestly, at that point, it's just you take who's ever left at the top 3. They're just in desperate need of talent. Obviously, there's talent on the team, but, like, a person who could potentially be a massive needle mover like Paolo is someone that's massively help them. As well with the fact of, you get someone that, like, being able to create your own offense is really important with the fact of, who knows who else they're going to select in this draft. Yes, I'm the person who's selecting, so who knows?
Who knows? Truly.
Yeah. But especially with the fact of, like Jalen Green budding into a star. Some people still believe in KPJ. Don't believe.
He's had his moments.
Yeah. Getting someone who's not relying on a point guard is going to be incredibly important for them until they're able to find that one guard of the future if they don't believe in KPJ.
Thank you. We'll asterisk that because I think that he proved a lot during different points of last year, but I agree that nothing is locked in. I think that their offense will continue to evolve as we see them grow. But Paolo, there's no argument there, man. Get him in and get Wood out of town. If you couldn't tell, I don't like Christian Wood.
And who could have ever thought?
That's a guy who might get traded on draft day. Let's be honest. Put it out there.
And yeah, there's
Christian Wood. Who wants him? Somebody. Who wants a selfish scorer? Somebody's got to have use for that.
Yeah, who wants Anthony Davis light? Like I didn't stop fucking hearing about when he left the Pistons.
Yeah, he's sure we can call him that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what some people called him. So
yeah. Okay, so solid. We went 1 through 3. I feel like obvious picks out the way. Now it's really open game because this draft seems broken up into different tiers in a lot of people's view. 1 through 3, all the bigs, great. Now we've got some intriguing discussion because we've got wings, we've got guards, we've got super athletic guys, and I wouldn't want to deprive Soapy of getting his guy at 5.
Absolutely.
So 4 for Sacramento. I'm gonna do the non-Kings thing here and take Shaedon Sharpe. I'm gonna try to be as I'm not Vlade. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna whatever. I'm gonna take what I perceive as the best talent available left, someone who we think he's a mystery box. He's a wing with great length. He has the ability to, I think, ball handle a little bit. Some people are saying from the small highlights we've seen of his videos, maybe not the best handle, but again, he's young. He didn't play professional basketball for an entire year. He's really just been doing workouts and some scrimmage work in college. Never actually got to play because of his whole situation there. So I think if you're looking for a guy with an NBA body, an incredible upside, who was marketed as a three-level scorer coming into college, seems like a pretty great fit for a team like Sacramento, where they've already got Darren Fox as their lead point guard. You did draft another guard in Donovan Mitchell, who not Donovan Mitchell, Jesus, Davion Mitchell. Thank you for the quick correction, Davion Mitchell. You drafted and decided to go with. So they need to add a wing, and I think Shaedon Sharpe is that wing of the future for them.
And I mean, once again, it stings knowing that if this actually happened, I'd have to change my name again on the fly.
Yeah, you would.
But I think it does work. I think the only reason why I think the Kings would possibly skip him is the fact of there were talks of the Kings being willing to move the pick for a more win now player.
That's true.
And that's the thing of Shaedon, and this is the thing, I love Shaedon. If I had it the way I wanted it, and if he absolutely just stunned, I would have had someone fall out of the top 3 because of him.
That's what I'm worried about too. I'll be honest, I have the same thought. I think Shaedon has an outside shot at making it top 3. I think there are some teams who would prefer him over perhaps Paolo or Jabari.
Yeah. So, and that's just the thing with me, and obviously we both feel the very same way about a player that's not going next. So I can't wait for Pistons fans to hate me for that, because I'm not putting up with them. But,
do it.
Yeah, so with the 5th pick, I am having the Detroit Pistons take Kegan Murray. Trust me, it fucking pains me, guys. The only thing is, we're not taking Ivy. He fucking stinks. He's not going to pair well to Cade. Stop. Put the crack pipe down and understand, he doesn't pair well next to Cade. He needs the ball, so does Cade. What a shock, guys. I know. It's terrifying to think Jaden Ivey is not fucking Ja Morant. He's not anything like Ja. Just because he's athletic and has dreads does not mean he's Ja Morant. Goddamn clowns. Now stop.
Love it. I love it, Sophie. Please continue to rant about it anytime you want to, because we don't disagree on that. I think the Ja Morant comp is inflammatory. It's disrespectful. It's egregious. It's just downright terrible. So thank you for making those feelings known early, and what I'm sure will be often during this draft process. But do you feel pretty good about getting Kegan Murray here? You think that's a guy who can pair well?
Yeah, I think Kegan Murray works well. I was tossing a couple names in my head because obviously, I'll just say them. I was thinking of Ben Mathurin. I was tossing between 3 people: Mathurin, AJ Griffin, and Kegan Murray. Obviously, I went with Kegan Murray here just because he's more natural at the 4, and there is still a very real chance we're trading Jeremy Grant off season.
Yeah, it's a non-zero chance. Yep.
Yeah, so basically at this point it's okay, draft a forward because we kind of need somebody. He's kind of like a Swiss Army knife type player, where basically I heard a comp and I don't know if I fully agree with it, but I don't think it's the worst. I heard someone say he's basically like Sadiq Bey, and I'm like, well, fuck it, let's get 2 of them. The only reason I think people comp them to him is because the fact that they're both not super athletic. They kind of do everything, where it's okay, they're just kind of a Swiss Army knife player. To where don't trust me. As much as my bias would have loved me to take AJ Griffin here.
Yeah.
But it's also just a lot of reports have come out that the Pistons are incredibly high in Kegan Murray. So, I hope Shaedon Sharpe's there and we decide to take him. But if he's not there, Kegan Murray I think is a good supplementary piece for that.
Okay. It's fair logic. I don't necessarily agree with the choice, but I do think that your team will be better for taking Kegan Murray. So at least that,
Yeah.
So that leaves me with a team in Indiana, who Indiana's at this weird point of, from my point of view, I think they are stuck between a rock and a hard place as far as their future. They clearly tanked this year. They moved on from Domantas Sabonis, one of my favorite players in the NBA, which pains me, but also I'm happy to see him, get a little bit of change of pace, because if I have to listen to another year of the conversation about Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis working together, even though they can barely stay healthy at the same time, I will just hurt something. Like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and it won't go away. So you've got a core of Tyrese Halliburton, and I'm just going to stop right there because that's all that fucking matters on this team. So if you're building a team around Tyrese Halliburton, who I fucking love, my first thought isn't adding Jaden Ivey, whom a lot of people still see as the best possible option on the big board. I disagree for lots of reasons that Soapy did mention earlier. I think he's a very interesting prospect, but he's not my guy. I'm honestly torn between two right now, and I'm stalling for time. And I'll tell you why. Because, like, if I'm thinking, hey, I need to get more of a go-to scorer, like, Halliburton's not that guy. You know, Halliburton's been talked about as the great passer, the great ball mover. He's a floor general. He's an old-school point guard. He still can shoot. It just looks ugly, but it still goes in at a great rate. Man, it just points me back to Jaden Ivey. It points me back to Jaden Ivey, which I don't love. I hate this. I love live mocks, though, because it's going to force my hand to take him. I will take Jaden Ivey. After all that talk, I'm a big softie. And I think that Jaden Ivey makes the Pacers must-watch TV.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's the thing. And as much as I, bashed him, I'm going to be real here. Like, I don't think he's an absolute awful player. I think it's just a lot of people overvalue what he did in college while ignoring all the people watch the highlights and they're like, oh, that's cool. But then they didn't look at the lowlights. Right.
And that's part of the thing is when you think about Jaden Ivey in college, and you made the comment earlier about, he's not Ja Morant. Ja was insane, one of the best college passers of all time. Jaden Ivey's not that, but pairing Jaden Ivey with one of the best facilitators in the NBA, now you've got my interest. Now we've got two guys. Halliburton, who's like 6'5", he's incredibly long, he can defend everywhere. Ivey, when engaged, pretty good defender. I know that's part of an engagement thing. He's not always, so you got to get him locked in, but he's someone who will make the most of his opportunities. He's someone who can attack that rim, put pressure on other teams. And if he can, again, the three-point shot is the biggest question mark. He shot well this year. His free throw percentage says one prediction. What people are saying says something else. And that's, can he keep league average from three? That will determine a lot of success around him, because I think that putting him under Rick Carlisle and next to Tyrese Halliburton is perhaps the best outcome for him.
Yeah, and I think that's going to allow him to thrive at the next level of where, being on a team, I'm just like the Pistons, like example of where we don't space the goddamn floor. We all hang out in the mid-range. Our coach really does love that old classic game of everyone stand in the mid-range and clog the paint.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, he just wouldn't strive in a system like that. Like, he drives to the rim a lot. Being in a system of where you can run him next to someone as well, like Buddy Hield.
Oh, true.
And, you have to stay on. Chris Duarte's been a really good shooter as well. You can pair him to where it's he's just allowed to go to the rim.
Yeah.
I think it allows him to. It's also a good place of where if they try to compete, he's a good enough player. I think he does put up good numbers his rookie year, where he could certainly help contribute to that.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, only time will tell with them.
I want to come in like a bear on college game day. Also a hometown kid. Went to high school in Indiana, college in Indiana. Dave's got him drafted by Indiana.
I didn't think about that. I knew Purdue, but I didn't know he was yeah, that's awesome.
I didn't know he was from there. Hey, would you look at that? The hometown kid comes home. Is he Indiana's LeBron?
Ooh, let's set him up for failure right away.
Yeah, may as well.
Is he Arizona's Ayton?
Maybe.
That did not work out well for them.
Yeah. Only time will tell, though.
I think, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Good.
Yeah, with the 7th pick, this is a really interesting one to me.
Yeah.
Because we've already heard the reports, Portland is willing to move this pick for a win-now player.
Yeah.
And Pistons Twitter has not shut the fuck up about this pick yet. And we already were in talks with them before about sending Jeremy Grant there. Oh, I'm not saying I'm drafting as if the Pistons are here, Blazers fans understand there have been, spoken rumors that you guys are going to move the pick. But just in case the Blazers keep it, Dave, I'm reaching on this one. I truly think we're going Mark Williams all the way up here. They are a team that is going to massively need a center. Because the fact, let's be honest here, I forgot his fucking name, of course, when I need to remember it.
Yusuf Nurkic?
Yeah, Nurkic can't stay healthy anymore.
He's also free agent at the moment-ish.
Yeah.
So.
Where it's like, you get someone of like, and now granted, I know, like I said, went a little spicy with it. I know some people are going to be really upset with me if you're a Blazers fan. Understand, I also just said, you're not going to have this fucking pick. So, get over it.
I think that Mark Williams' combine has made him the most attractive center in a long time. For those who don't know, his measurements were absolutely insane. Let me try to pull them up. I posted so many things in Discord for him.
He's like 7'2". He has like a fucking super huge wingspan.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. He's also he's easily the safest big in this draft. Because it's like, with Duran, you got to wonder, like, okay, like, he has an offensive game. It's there. How far along is it going to develop? Like, people compare him to, like, young Dwight Howard. And it's like, how high of stakes you're putting on Duran right off the jump? For him to step in and have to be compared to a fucking Superman Dwight Howard? I don't think I'd comp anyone to that.
Yeah.
That is too lofty of expectations for someone.
I agree. That's... People just setting expectations to try to get clicks, I think. So Mark Williams, 7 foot, 7 flat with no shoes, and then a 9'9" standing reach.
That is
fucking insane. He also has a 7.5 foot wingspan, about 242 pounds, 5.4% body fat. His center, like those measurements as far as comping to other players, look at him favorably compared to someone even, getting measurements a la Rudy Gobert, which is just like Rudy Gobert with a little bit of a jump shot from like, give me 8 feet out, give me 10 feet out. Woo! Look, Soapy, you might think that hot take. I might agree. I think you're spot on though. I think you are spot on because I think Mark Williams is somebody who was underutilized in college. I love his game. I think that he played like fourth fiddle when if they ran the offense through him a bit more, probably would have won a little bit more. Might have some gaudier stats. But I think he, listening back to a lot of the old draft talk from years past, as I do, every year around this time to remind myself, hey, keep grounded. Think how wrong you could be. The phrase just another guy was something I used a lot for centers. I don't believe he is just another guy. I think he's someone who has that, like, you should absolutely value what he has upside-wise as a center, and he's worth the first-round pick, because I know a lot of time you just go, we just grab somebody in the second round, we can grab a free agent, fill in at center. Center's not an important position anymore. It's not unless you have somebody who's special, and I think that Mark Williams shows that upside. So, I love it. I absolutely love the pick, Soapy.
And hey, you may love it. I guarantee the comment section won't. So
wow.
This is going to be a fun one. First not super friendly. No one was mean to me. Oh, this one, I'm going to get fucking ripped apart. I'm going to call Fat Boy all the time.
You and me both. So that leaves me with the Pelicans here, 8. Pelicans are one hell of a fucking interesting setup here because you hope Zion's going to be back. You hope and pray Zion's going to be back, and I will plan around the fact that Zion will be back. They had a great postseason run. Brandon Ingram is the guy. CJ was fantastic to get them there. So they've got a lot of guys who can self-create on the outside, which is wonderful. CJ plays the mid-range, but ball handlers like crazy. So if I'm looking for something to pair with that idea of, hey, we got CJ, we got BI, we have Zion, and we have, why can't I remember their big who can shoot? He was traded from Memphis. Valanciunas. If we have all those pieces, and again, I know this year was the Herb Jones defensive player, fucking comeuppance, great pick from last year, insane value.
And the random pop-off year from Jose Alvarado.
Wow. Love that too. Absolutely love that too. Herb Jones, still a draft, only second to, I would assume we've taken a couple picks later. But wonderful freshman year in the NBA. I think that he would get pushed out for a two-way player though, who might be undervalued by some people. I am 100% going with Dyson Daniels. I think Dyson Daniels is the connector piece that makes this fucking engine go. I think that he's got insane fucking quickness on the court. He's so quick, he's so smart, he's got good wingspan, he'll get in passing lanes. He'll bring that defense that you got from Herb Jones, but also he is such a smart passer. He's going to be that guy who can help swing the ball around, find you that extra pass to get the good shots, get you guys the best looks, the hottest. Never mind. I think that Dyson Daniels, incredible hit here. I know he didn't measure in at 6'8" like they said he would, but his athleticism, his passing, his basketball IQ, and then I think his shot's coming along. You know, if you look at the whole season, it was very poor. But if you dice that up into quarters, as the season went on, he kind of found where his shooting stroke should be and stabilized a bit and had a pretty good finish to the year. So I think Dyson Daniels would be massive for the Pelicans going forward as they continue to push into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think as well, that was actually the player that if I had this pick, I would have had them taking.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so look at that. We're slowly turning into the We Agree mock draft.
I love it.
But my main thing is as well, if like CJ's not the greatest defender, and like I'm not saying that in a mean way. Like CJ can every once in a while do okay. This gives it to where now like CJ can just be like, hey, fuck defense. I can just only focus on offense because now, if you pair him with arguably the best defensive guard in this class, like by far bar none.
Yep.
Like that's going to be an absolute nightmare for a lot of people to deal with going forward. And I'm not looking forward to any team having to try to score on that team. Because when they roll the defensive lineup out, we may see like historic low shooting numbers.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you put Dyson Daniels out there with Herb Jones, that's gonna be tough. And that's the other thing is you have another ball handler, which I just said, hey, they got guys who can create their own shot, but that CJ is not a point guard. Like we can all admit that CJ is not a fucking point guard. So like this is just going to help them get even more efficient. They're gonna get better looks for catch and shoots, which is gonna be disgusting for the team as a whole. Like this is I love this pick for the Pelicans. I hope it happens for them.
Yeah. So with the 9th, now I'm not memeing with this pick. I'm not gonna meme as much as I want to have it that the Spurs just reach on someone that was not going in the lottery. I'm not doing it, Spurs. I'm doing who I would draft.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Benedict Mathurin here.
Okay.
So basically, there's only one person left from the teams or from the players I mentioned earlier, and it's with Mathurin. I am like, if the Spurs are sitting there and they see Mathurin there, they're licking their chops. Granted, if they're not looking at someone who's going at like 27 and everyone else is big board and mock.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fair chance they will do that, but
who knows? They can take Jaden. They can take Jaden Hardy here. Who knows? There's always a chance. That's why I'm saying I'm not memeing it, but they could.
Yep.
But Mathurin's skill set and the fact of like just he would pair so dangerously next to everyone else on the team. Granted, he isn't gonna fucking play his rookie year. Because Pop doesn't like playing young guys.
He'll get minutes. Pop wouldn't do that to him.
I don't know.
He's a 2-year college player. He fucking came out last year. If he came out last year, he would have been taken probably, like 14 to 25 range. So going back actually worked out for him, which is great. Made some big shots, grew his game exactly the way they wanted to. He's good. He's a very, very good player. I think he is one of the more pro-ready wings out there. So I think Pop might have to, just push the pride down a little bit and give this kid some minutes.
Pop may not even be there.
Let's not say that. Let's not say that. Pop is never retiring.
That is true. He's going until he's in his grave.
Yes, he is.
And even at that, they'll still probably bring his casket with them everywhere they go.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that's getting a little grim.
I mean, hey, you never know. It's San Antonio.
That's true.
Yeah. Like, that is just, like, that was my whole thing, because I'll even elaborate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was bouncing between him and Johnny Davis. Because, like, it feels weird. Like, because when I'm looking, obviously, I'm looking at Fanspo's. Like, I'm not looking at my own list. That's why I'm kind of like, if you see my face light up at all, obviously, I'm keeping notes of who's going where.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm sitting here looking at it, and it's like seeing, and like personally, and this pains me, of seeing like AJ Griffin still there, seeing Johnny Davis, and knowing one of those two is going outside the top 10, like kind of irks me a little bit. Of where I'm like, did I fuck up something? And I'm like, I don't hate any of the picks that have happened anywhere. So like it just, I don't know. Just, it's kind of riding me a little bit.
I think that everybody's got their own big boards. Everybody prioritizes their own things. You can rationalize a lot of things here. I think both of us weren't as high on, Jaden Ivey as others, perhaps. I definitely am not high on AJ Griffin, which might explain some decisions I've made so far as well. Again, I think that, we're just going to have our own preferences here. And again, somebody in the actual, front office of the Spurs is going to be like, you know who I want? We're taking, I'm
Williams at 9.
I was gonna say I was just scrolling down to the bottom of my fucking
Tari
list.
Eason at 9.
Yeah, Tari Eason could go 9. I'm not even gonna fucking meme. Tari Eason could go 9. He's amazing. But same time, probably not. I mean, like Usman Jang could go 9. Like that's a guy who is moving up a lot of people's big boards. Rightfully so. So I think that to say just because we see like Duran and AJ Griffin still on the board, like hey, there's a lot of good players. This draft class has the top 3. Some people don't even think it's that; they think it's the top 4 or 5, and then literally pick like 6 to 40, 6 to 30, pretty much preference. I don't think there's clear tiers after you get past that first grouping, personally.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Okay. So now I've got the Wizards at 10. Now, what the Wizards have is a terrible fucking roster. Bradley Beal has a decision to make, obviously. Is he going to be still there or is he going to be gone? Do you draft around the idea that Bradley Beal will still be there? Because clearly they need a fucking point guard then. Are they going to address it in free agency or would you rather go young? Lots of questions. They've got 3 really good wings who are all playing the same position in Rui Hachimura, Kyle Kuzma, and Denny Avdia. And I like all 3 of them for different reasons. They're all going to get different chunks of minutes. But for a draft class that has so many good wings, especially like right now I'm staring like, oh my God, Jeremy Sochan should 100% be off my board. He's still there. Can't take him. Why? Because this team has 4 fucking wings already who are all fighting for minutes, and I don't trust the organization to make the right thing happen. And again, you always say BPA factors an opportunity too. And I think that given the opportunity, probably wouldn't work out great for him. So that's why I'm going to put someone like AJ Griffin going here. And now, I don't love it, but I do think that's the move that would get made. I think AJ Griffin would get off the board at this point. I think that they're going to be intrigued by his insane outside shooting. His lack of effort on defense is a concern to me personally, but I think
he fits with the Wizards at that point.
Well, that's also true. But I think he also can fit in that mold of like, hey, if Bradley Beal, we do decide to move on from, like AJ Griffin, someone I wouldn't feel bad having him catch more shots. I think he's someone who can be an excellent add on offense. I think that his athleticism with another couple years under the belt, like, can he get back to being that explosive athlete that he was before his injury? I hope so. And again, that will make this look crazy, in 5 years that he was 10 on here, and I'm even struggling with that. Like, he has the upside. He has the shooting stroke from the outside. There's a lot of reasons why he is a valuable pick at this point, but I'm not sold on it because I don't feel like he's the best player on my board. So, had to make the tough move, though. That's the Wizards. That's what they would do. They would take AJ Griffin.
Yeah, because if I would have AJ Griffin go here as well. And it's mostly just because the fact, to me, I think he is BPA on the board. I think obviously, players like Johnny Davis are still here, but once again, like, I don't think Beal's gone just yet. I think Beal wants to hang it out for a little bit longer. I mean, hell, who knows? We've heard, like, Beal wants out, and then he's like, no, I don't want to be out. Yeah. So at this point, like, I have no idea until every consensus is like, yeah, no, he wants out.
He could be Dame and just stay there for his entire, career. So I mean, that's we got time. He's still young. It's crazy to think about it, but Beal is still incredibly young. Like just because he's been in the league since he was 18 doesn't mean he's old man. He's not.
Yeah, and I think as well, because now you have the four wing pairing that, and I think as well you could make it work to where like you run Denny and AJ together. Where it's like, okay, like AJ's now still kind of playing off ball a little bit. I want to see what he can do more with the ball in his hands. Obviously, when he was at Duke, the ball was not in his hands all the time. It was in Paulo's. There's a little bit of a hierarchy of Paulo being the best player on that team by far, bar none.
Yep.
So
everybody else down here.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of a drop off.
Yeah.
Not saying anyone else on that team is bad. It's just Paulo just went top 3. The next highest on Duke went 10. Our mock, so but yeah, like I think he's a player that I think
Mark Williams.
Oh yeah, that is true. I forgot I already took Mark Williams that high.
Yep.
So there we go, guys. Mark Williams is according to me the second best player in the group. So hey,
might be the best player by the end of it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, depending if the NBA bans the stuff that Paulo has to drink to not get cramps in the middle of the game.
God,
if they do that, that's such a sabotage. Like, if they do that, that's such a sabotaging of a pick. At that point, I'd be like, I'm suing the NBA.
I would too. That'd be crazy.
We've never had to deal with this. All of a sudden, now you're like, all right, yeah, no, this is the problem. Yeah, like, I think he could really develop into a guy that, like, we do look back, and he's almost like almost like an MPJ situation of, like, how did he fall? Because, like, just of how good he was high school. Yeah. Obviously, I know high school is high school. People, like Julian Newman looked like the best player in high school, and the guy didn't get a single college offer that his dad lied.
Yeah, well, he's also like 5'6". That might have something to do with it.
Yeah, just a little bit. Oh,
but yeah, AJ Griffin, lots of upside. There's a reason people love him.
And you're at 11. See, I'm stepping on Coles with this one. The Knicks are a very vocal fan base, and I know you guys are vocal.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here contemplating. I'm like, okay, what do I say and what do I don't say about this team? And it's racking my brain here. But I going with it. The Knicks at 11, they're going to take Jalen Duren.
Oh.
I think Mitch Rob could be a player who's, seeing the door. Obviously, Mitch Rob can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
He gets hurt all the time, Still has a lot of foul troubles, especially this late into his career. Is kind of like not super alarming. Obviously, that's something you can still learn.
Yep.
Like, it hasn't gotten much better. Where it's like, okay, like, we're paying him money to sit at home and sit on the bench. So I think getting Duren, a guy that, like, uber athlete, incredible bounce. Like, he is a guy that can play well. I think play well off of RJ, especially with the fact of, if they make enough roster moves. Right? God only knows what moves they're going to make. I'm not saying anything because I'm not getting lit up by not getting lit up.
No, just call your shots now. Call your shots now, Soapy. Really.
Yeah, you guys just need to get rid of Randall. See if you can get another draft pick for him, and then just take Tari Eason. You may as well just draft the Randall replacement in the same draft.
Oof. I think Duren, your logic's not wrong. I think that Mitch Rob, the writing's been on the walls for a while. That it seems like he's gonna be on the way out. There was some talks already, some rumors, again, asterisk everything with rumors, that, he's looking for some big money because when he is on the floor, he's a very effective player. But the problem is you're not on the floor very often. So there are, some issues as far as what they see value really is there. Duren could come in right away. And play off the bench because you goddamn know Tom Thibodeau is not going to let this man get fucking starter minutes.
No, he definitely won't.
Obi Toppin's been buried for 2 years and he won't see fucking daylight anytime soon. He'll be goddamn dead before, Duren won't get the start.
His brother will be in the league by the time we see consistent Obi minutes.
Probably.
That's if his brother gets to the league.
Hey, he had a really good year this year. Credit him for the transfer. It's a smart move. No, I think Duren's good pickup. Nerlens will probably get the start because he's Nerlens Noel. He's a really good defensive player, and he's now a veteran in the league. And Tom Thibodeau hates fucking kids. But Jalen Duren, I mean, he's huge upside. crazy good athlete. You know, a lot of people talk about his year at Memphis being a wasted one, but we did get to see some flashes of, hey, he's not just a dunker. He's not just this. He has some hope, you know, of growing out and expanding his game to be a well-rounded player. Even watched him do some nice passing out of the post. You know, it'd be nice if he had anyone pass the ball too, but that team fucking stunk. So not so great on that end. But yeah, I'm good with it. I think Duren's a good pickup. But that gives me the Thunder yet again. And the Thunder staring at a wonderful gift in the face. And they would absolutely take Jeremy Sochan right here. No questions asked. Just go ahead, take the best fucking wing prospect left on the board. Not going to think about it too much. Hey, I got a guy who can defend every fucking position. That is beautiful for this team. Oh, by the way, he can also rebound pretty well. Oh, by the way, he can also pass the ball. Wait, what? We got a guy who can defend, pass, and he just can't shoot great consistently, okay? We will work on the shot, and that's fine. That is an acceptable territory. I think the time to move on from the tank commander and Darius Baisley is over. He's done his job. He served his time. He stunk up so many games for them to get to the top of this draft board every single opportunity they get. So now I think it's time to, you know, hey, let's just put him over here and let's give Jeremy the minutes. So I feel really good. They have so much versatility because if you're walking with Jabari and Jeremy, you've got two guys who are switchable, two guys who have great size. Jeremy obviously is a better passer, and Jabari's a fantastic shooter, so they complement each other. You can probably play them at the 4 and the 5, like you can run small ball lineups. Everybody switches then because your point guard's 6'6", and that's fair somehow. So no, the Thunder are just is good. It's good for the Thunder.
Yeah, that is an incredible pickup for them, especially with the fact that then that whole team defense then just gets even more nasty because it's like, I'm wrong. Giddey's not the greatest defender, but like he's, you know, okay. You can, you know, he's serviceable.
He's their worst defender in their starting lineup then.
Yeah, and it's like if he's your worst, like you have to be in a really fucking good spot.
Yeah.
Like that is
Shea, Dort, Jabari, and Jeremy. The fuck out of here.
You're not scoring more than like 15 points in a quarter at that point.
That seems to be so good.
Scoring more, it's just because the refs are letting you score.
They were already like I think they were a top 20 defense last year, well tanking, which is impressive. So like when they don't pull, you know, Shea Gilgeous from the lineup for no fucking reason, when they don't tell somebody that you're now going to take a 9-month vacation because you tweaked your ankle once, like I can't wait to see this team if they decide to play out the season and don't go for Victor, you know, on their own. They've got enough picks to trade up for him, but we'll see. They could just decide to tank one more year. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. See, at 13, this is a weird one because, you know, if I'm the Hornets in this draft, I'm fuming by this point. I'm pissed because every center is off the fucking boards at this point.
Yep.
And they're just like, well, shit, who's left now? You know, and I have them going BPA here. I'm not gonna lie, this one it pains me a little bit, and it's just because the fact of, you know what? No, fuck the BPA. I'm gonna have him go Ochai Agbaji.
Oh shit! That could be somebody's. I know a certain retro who's a huge fan of Ochi. I don't know that. Personally, bold move going for him. Let's hear it. Why are we going with him?
I think it's the Hornets overall kind of struggle with defense. The fact of, like, you know, for instance, they have people who can play defense, but there's times that there's a lot of lapses. You know, a lot of it has to do with the fact that if Miles Turner and Montrezl Harrell are your two best centers, seek help. Like, you need to, like, build an actual
Not Miles
wall.
Turner.
Not Miles Turner. Miles
Plumlee, yeah. Plum Dog Millionaire.
Yeah. As much as I love Plum Dog Millionaire, if he's arguably your best center on your team, you have a massive problem.
That's true.
And you can't really address it because they're all gone. Like, unless you want to really reach on one at this point. But also, like, because as well, I think it's a situation of, with small forward for them, I think it fits in the sense of, oh, I accidentally turned my fans off. It really shows how smart I am.
You're good.
Like, I think it allows you to kind of be more interesting, because obviously I think Miles Bridges is out the door next year.
Okay,
Like,
I was gonna ask. I was like, this is a move towards that, obviously. Then in your mind.
I think he's gone. I think and a thing that I don't know, and obviously Hornets fans let me know because I didn't get to watch a lot of your guys' games this year. I don't know. Have they tried the PJ Washington at center strategy and does it work? Or is
it does
like,
in small bits, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, like, this now allows you to kind of, you can move Hayward to the 4, unless
for all 20 games he's there.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Yeah. But basically, it's then at that point, like, as much as you probably don't want Kelly Oubre starting, because sometimes he sucks when he starts, sometimes he's really good. It just depends on how he wants to play that year.
Yeah.
So, like, and then at that point, it's like, okay, you have someone who you can insert to be a defender that helps the overall team defense. And I think as well, his offensive game is well-rounded enough that, like, he's not, like, on an island of just, like, I'm only here to play defense.
Right. No, and I think also, like, underrated. Like, he brings, like, Gain Abaji brings another ball handler, someone who, in college, he grew his role to be, a secondary ball handler. He can create some shots for others, but he's very comfortable ball in hand. So, like, while having LaMelo be your primary ball handler is wonderful, having him come off of, like, Steph Curry-esque screens where you get him off-ball action and coming off picks, that will be fucking amazing for that offense, because having to rely on just him to create everything while Gordon was out showed a lot of problems with that fucking offense. I think that also, frees up the ability if you want to get rid of Scary Terry in the not so far away future. You have another option. An option. Not saying you have to, just saying you have options now. You've got a lot of guys under contract right now. I wouldn't be surprised if that team's going to make some trades.
Yeah, I think as well, I think this could also be a team that packages these two picks together and moves for someone.
Yeah.
Because, like, they have people they can move for. Because, like, I mean, they could be a sneaky team to trade for a star. I don't know what star, but, like, basically sign and trade with Miles Bridges. You send the 2 picks with them. And then, like, I mean, I don't know what stars are available right now or who will be available, but I mean, they could be someone who's like, hey, here you go.
Yeah.
You want to let's have the star? So,
I mean, you could always go back to the old rumor mill and just say, hey, Gordon Hayward in a first for Miles Turner.
Yeah,
might be Gordon Hayward and a burst and maybe something else now, but, like, because he's not actually, super healthy of a person. But still, the idea of, hey, we can go address and get ourselves, in theory, a floor spacing big, and that would be a big fucking add for them. That solves a lot of problems with this team and some of the problems they ran into last year. So, always an option. Old reliable. Gordon Hayward to the Pacers.
Yeah, it's always sending him to the Pacers every time. Not if they need him. They're just taking him.
They'll take him. They love him. Who cares? They'll love him. Okay, so this puts me in the sandwich mode. I'm the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm between Hornets and Hornets here. So how can I fuck you over? Well, if I'm the Celtics, Jesus. If I'm the Cavs, I'm thinking I want a 7-footer because that's my jam, right? We only do 7-footers. We need more bigs in this lineup. Unfortunately, there's not one of value instantly right now. But you know who there is? This is the ultimate toss-up, because it's like, how much faith do you have in their development? How much faith do you have in them being able to re-sign, I'm already talking re-sign, their future star point guard? Because this is a team that overachieved this past year, in a lot of people's opinions. Without Colin Sexton being the go-to scorer, we watched Darius Garland absolutely fucking thrive on this team. And we're like, wow, if they had someone who was better than that piece of shit top, he's drafted 6th, wing pick, who put up 4 fucking points in the playoffs, maybe they could fucking win a series. But I'm gonna go on the other side and say, let's go for fucking upside. Let's take Ousmane Dieng here, and let's see how good he really is, because the more tape of his you watch, more recent tape, watch anything that's from, like, mid-January on. Don't watch anything that started his season down in the NBL. Watch everything from after January, and then the more recent, the better it gets. Because this is a guy who has incredible size, He has some ball handling skills, so he can take the ball downhill. He might be an okay passer. He's got crazy good size though for his skill set because again, late growth spurt, used to be a guard. We love those stories. We watch this guy fill out to be something special. I like the idea of Jang fitting in really well for this Cleveland team and him being another ball handler potentially on offense and not a defensive slouch because of his crazy fucking size.
Yeah, like, because you're much higher in Jank than I am.
Yes.
I would not have had him going this high.
Okay.
So, I mean, hey, everyone's got to be high on somebody.
I'm getting high on my own supply.
Yeah. The funny thing is, you did fuck me, but not in the way I don't think you fucked me in the way you think you did.
Oh, okay.
Because now I don't have a coin anywhere near me. But I'm essentially at a coin toss right now.
I'm gonna guess one of those names is Tara Eason.
Nope.
What?
So, I think looking at this, looking at the Hornets' depth, like point guard, they're pretty good at. Obviously, you may need some depth, but I don't think there's any point guard worth taking this early.
Okay.
Forward, you already drafted a forward. You already got a lot of forwards on the team. You know what you don't really have? You don't really have a backup too that's super consistent because Book Knight kind of looks like he sucks.
No, okay, you're just trying to get hate now. Is that what you're doing? You're like, I skid past the Knicks hate thread. I survived that.
I went for the smaller fan base.
Fuck you, Charlotte! No, Book Knight was hated by his coach very clearly, very publicly, unfortunately for him. I don't think that he looked terrible. I think that he has a lot of sparks of this guy could be an absolute fucking offensive guy. Given the opportunity, he just did not see that. But again, sorry, this is not my pick. I had to let you know that you're walking into a hornet's nest. Bump.
I mean, hey, it is what it is. But I really can't decide between these two.
Let's hit. Just drop a name. Just close your eyes and just.
I'm pulling up a coin flip.
Okay.
Let's see here. Heads is player number 1. Heads is player 2. All right. The Hornets are going to select Johnny Davis.
Okay. It's a bold move.
I'll let you know who the other player was. It was Malachi Branham.
Yeah, I figure we're pretty similar rankings.
Yeah. I was bouncing between those two because I'm sitting here and I'm like, there's no fucking way he's still here. Like, that's what I was thinking just in my head the whole time. I'm like, there's no way he's here. But I'm like, at the same time, though, Branham's really fucking good.
They're very good for opposite reasons. Johnny Davis is a dog on defense. That man will fucking run through a brick wall to get to the other side of a screen. Can create his own shot. Yeah, the three-pointer's not there consistently, but you look at his numbers across the board and the growth he's had, and you'd like to believe that this guy's he is a absolute workhorse, and he's gonna put in the work to get there. So like, I don't think it's a bad pick. I don't think that maybe Johnny Davis on your big board might be higher than mine, but that's about right for me on where he would range wise.
Yeah, and my whole thing is when I say Book Knight stinks, it's just because the fact of where it's like, okay, how long do you want to wait for what Book Knight could be? Like, that's my thing, of where I'm looking at it, of where, like, Book Knight for me is a top 10 player. Where I'm sitting here, and this whole time I'm like, no one's really needed a shooting guard.
No, you're saying Johnny Davis. You said Book Knight out loud, but you meant Johnny Davis. Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
That's what I was meaning.
Yep.
Yeah. Where with Book Knight, like, he may be a couple years out from being what he could be. Over with Johnny Davis, it's BPA. He's stepping in, will already hopefully be better than Book Knight. If not, then I'm terribly sorry if I just gave you guys bad juju and you guys all of a sudden just drafted an absolute bum.
I mean, look, you got some vets for that team. Abaji's a senior coming out. Johnny Davis is a second-year player. Both these guys should be able to hit the league running. Neither one of them should get completely fucked over by coach, is my thought.
Yeah, and I mean, and hopefully they won't, especially with the fact of, like, I'm not saying Davis will start right away, because obviously Scary Terry still stays starting next to LaMelo. give Davis some time to where, I think it could be a situation if he absolutely shows out. I think he could start to slowly sneak his way towards being a starter by the end of the year. Granted, will he start over Scary Terry? Probably not. Unless, if they find out, hey, he actually works better next to LaMelo than Scary Terry.
I mean, that is something always you can, test the waters and find out. Because different combos, I think different laps, you'll have different levels of success. So, figuring out, hey, maybe he does work best off ball. Maybe he works best ball in hand. In the NBA, he could be more of a primary playmaker for some lineups. So you got to go past the obvious, in my opinion, when you look at stuff like that. So yeah. I wouldn't shut it down.
Yeah. So before we get to the Hawks at 16, gonna run down everyone that's been in the lottery plus the 15th. So at number 1, the Orlando Magic took Chet Holmgren. At 2, OKC took Jabari. At 3, the Rockets took Banchero. 4, the Kangs took Sharp. At 5, Detroit took Murray. At 6, the Pacers took Ivy. 7, Portland Trailblazers, they took Mark Williams. At 8, New Orleans took Dyson Daniels. At 9, the Spurs took Mathurian. At 10, the Wizards take AJ Griffin. At 11, the Knicks take Duran. At 12, OKC takes Sochan. At 13, the Hornets take Akbaji. 14, Cleveland takes Jiang. And at 15, the Hornets take Johnny Davis. So, Dave, picking up with the 16, who you got going here?
This is really where it gets interesting, because the Hawks, to me, are a playoff team that disappointed a lot of people. I had their coach pegged for Coach of the Year coming into the season. I was like, hey, he's going to ride high after clowning on the Sixers last year in the playoffs. And he's going to be able to take that momentum forward. And instead, it was so disappointing. It was so goddamn disappointing. My hatred for them is pretty high right now, because you did the nice thing. You got Sharif Cooper in last year's draft. Thank you for taking a fallen absolute fucking stud of a point guard. But then you didn't fucking use him. You're like, hey, we've got a short point guard who's a great passer. Let's go ahead and get a second-round pick who should have been a first-round talent, who's a short point guard, who's a phenomenal passer. And then when my star point guard is fucking out, we're just going to struggle offensively because Sharif Cooper can just fucking chill in the G League. I don't get it. I don't get it. They need... Cooper should have gotten minutes last year. He should have gotten a chance. And I'm pissed that he didn't. I don't know if he'll be on this team next year. He's an RFA technically, but who knows? Fucking those contracts. Being a second-year player in the second round. So, looking at this team overall holistically, they've got a couple options on the wing is where you could go, or you could go for another point guard. Because obviously Trae Young not gone, but the idea of pairing someone who maybe works on ball and off ball, someone a la Ty Washington, who I'm very high on, because I don't know if you noticed this, Soapy, but Kentucky point guards are pretty good in the NBA. I'm not keeping a running tab, but every fucking one of them is goddamn amazing. So, Ty is someone who has an incredible floater, which will translate to the NBA day one. He, given the chance to play pure point guard in college when Savari Wheeler was out, thrived. He, I think, set a record for most assists in a game for Kentucky this year, while being a point guard for 6 games, maybe less. So he has fucking skill. He can catch and shoot like a fiend too. So part of me goes, just take Ty Washington. He could play on ball. He could play off ball. He can be a backup point guard for you, but he can also play at the 2 in lineups next to Trae, and that makes so much sense to me. At the same time, Tari Eason's there. I love me some Tari Eason. Some defense, some toughness, big old fucking wing who plays physical defense. They could use it. They could use it. DeAndre Hunter can't stay healthy. John Collins, back and forth. Do I love him? Do I hate him? He's a little soft sometimes, but he's a very good player. I'm gonna go with Ty Washington here. I'm gonna take this is my guy. I like Ty. I'm gonna take Ty here. I think that he can slot in at the 2. I think he can play minutes at the 1 when Trae's off the court and gives him another good ball handler. I think this is the right move for this team to win going forward.
Yeah, and I do like that that pick as well. That's where I had him going in my mock of where
Nice.
the fact of and that's the thing is, the Hawks need a secondary ball handler.
Yeah.
Because outside of Trey, like, they rely on Trey to do everything. When Trey struggles, the team struggles. And that's the thing over, like, it worked last year because Trey and the rest of the team played up massively.
Yeah,
like, they were this is like that old Hawks team. That was the Spurs of the East, even though that team was not Spurs of the East. They were a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, that's the thing. It just gives someone that... Well, it lets Trae Young play off ball. He's too good of a shooter to just have the ball in his hands.
Yep.
Where it's like, you make the team's defense have to struggle, where then you can force easier mismatches of just have him fucking run around the perimeter. They're going to be searching for a balding lollipop, and they're like, where the hell is he? We can't find him. Because he's shorter than everybody. Like that. Teams aren't going to know how to defend him.
Yeah.
They'll have wide open threes. They'll be like, damn, we're getting torched by the lollipop guild.
Big true.
I mean, hey, they also could take Kennedy Chandler if they really love short point guard.
No. You want to know why? Because Sharif Cooper's a better player than Kenny Chandler, and he didn't get a fucking opportunity.
I mean, hey, you never know. If they could really just roll out the three, like a 5'10" point guards together.
Kenny Chandler is shorter than Sharif Cooper, by the way. Just to put that on everybody's radar. He measured in at 6 foot, 0.25 in shoes. In shoes.
So he's like 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah, he's 5'10" and a half, probably.
Yeah, so, I mean, hey, shout out to both me and Dave being taller than Chandler.
I mean, yeah, but he can jump 41 inches, so he's got us beat by just a
little.
Yeah, a little more athletic.
Maybe he's got to be beat by maybe 5 inches of vert. I don't know. I haven't tested the vert in a hot minute.
But yeah, no, I think that he will get into the NBA because he's a tough motherfucker on defense. He don't quit. I don't got him going this early, but I do think that, a team will give him a chance.
See, because now you put me in the weird situation.
Do I?
Because I genuinely thought when you hit the button, I was like, okay, so Tari Eason's going to be the pick. I'm like, cool, the Rockets get their point guard. And now I'm like, well, there's no point guards really left for him. Like, unless they really want to believe in Kennedy Chandler. Which
I was going to say, did I talk you into Kennedy Chandler?
No.
Okay.
Jesus couldn't talk me into that, man. So, mind you, that's something you guys will learn, by the way. Me and Dave disagree on a lot of picks. I already know one of them's going to come up, and we're going to argue when it happens.
We'll see.
No, I know it's going to happen, because I know what team he's going to. I won't say the team, just know. I know what's happening.
If it's into... Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, no, you'll know.
We'll play the we'll see game.
See, because now, this puts me then in the weird spot. Where earlier, they took Paulo, so it's like, okay, the 4 is secured. And I'm looking at the 3. They have a lot of people who can play the 3. And I don't want to, rob anyone of minutes, because obviously, I love Jayshawn Tate. Christopher can play the 3. Mostly best of the 2. But, can play the 3. But, you talked them up a little bit ago. I have them going Tari East.
Good pick.
I think he's a guy, like you said, comes in, he's tough, he's pretty, he plays defense, and, he won't take shit from people. And I think that's something of bringing in a player with that type of mentality onto a young team is going to be incredible. Especially with the fact of, this team was surprisingly good defensively last year for no one really being that huge of a defender beside Garuba, and he didn't even play. I
think that I think that Jayshawn Tate gets slept on defensively. He's so good. And I've heard people say that Tari Eason's just big Jayshawn Tate, which I think is, hey, put him on the same team. Ain't no problem with that. I think he brings some bigness. He brings a larger body, being 6'8", with that 7'2" wingspan. Hey, that's a little ball handling, a little bit of grit around the rim. I think it's good.
It's your team.
Your Chicago Bulls at 18. Now, Chicago fans, vibe with me here for a second. Name I've seen associated with their team a whole bunch, EJ Liddell, not going here. Just so you know, that's not happening. I'm not in on it. I'm not cool with it. Don't think he deserves to be taken this high in this fucking draft class.
Dave.
Thank you. there are a couple different things that could happen this offseason. Let's just be frank and admit it. Lonzo Ball hurt. Knee injury, didn't recover the same way we thought he would have. And I think it was bone bruise, actually. Bone bruise,
yeah,
right?
It was bone bruise.
Which sucks because there's nothing you can do about that. You just wait. You just wait until the body heals. You just keep waiting. So do we have a point guard? Maybe. Maybe not. Zach Levine, free agency, looming over. Rumors everywhere. LeVar Ball says he's going to the fucking Lakers. People in the Spurs say he's going to sign with us outright. Go fuck yourself. Are we going to sign and trade him for something here? Who knows? Lots of unknowns. All we do know is that Patrick Williams is a fucking dude. We got Io, also a dude. So I'm going to continue building around the idea that, hey, we got dudes already. We got a couple good spots. I'm not going to take a big here because it's still a reach. It's still a reach. Talent-wise, there's so many better guys on the board. I'm going to go with Kendall Brown here. I think I'm going to take a 6'9", 6'10" measured in. Very, very good player. Very good defender. Great slasher. Working on his shot, but still not terrible from the outside. Like, he's a catch-and-shoot 3-ball guy who backdoor cuts like a motherfucker. He's a crazy vertical. Love the athleticism. Smart player. One of the best in running in transition, which is what the Bulls did when we were winning. So I think he fits into exactly what our coach wants to do with this young core. If we are running, if we are attacking in transition, we are killing it. And that's what you watch his tape at Baylor. He is the perfect fit for that. And again, it's just, let's get somebody taller than 6'6". Okay, guys, can we agree on that? Let's get taller than 6'6". Let's have a 4 who's not 6'4". It sounds great to me. So I think Kendall Brown, huge pickup. Yes, he's raw. Yes, he's got a ton of talent, though. He is already NBA defensively ready. Shot, we'll have to see. We'll work with him. But, the backdoor cuts. The things that everybody loved about the Bull. Why can't I remember the very short guy who we got last year who played the 4 for us while Pat was out? I'm blanking. Ricky, voice of God may here.
The guy to play the 4 while Pat was out?
Yes. We got him from the Celtics.
You're talking about not Tice. We traded Tice.
I can't. I'm looking up salaries by year. I'm sorry. This is very unprofessional.
I mean,
Javonte
Green. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last name's Green.
Yeah, Javonte Green. Basically, what Javonte Green can do at 6'4", but this guy is fucking massive compared to Javonte Green. I mean, that's everything we want, right? Right. And he's got a ton of upside. He's way young. This for me is a love pick. I love that Kendall Brown's available here. He's one of the top 3 athletes in this draft class. So to get him here at 18 with the upside that he has, woo, I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Soapy, for agreeing to the evens odds. So I could not take EJ Liddell with the Bulls pick at 18.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, like, I mostly just did it just because every time I would see people do mocks,
yeah,
and if the Bulls weren't taking EJ Liddell, like, they just get lit up, and I'm like, okay, I guess you guys fell in love with him.
No.
But, like, I'm actually surprised you took Brown here, because I genuinely thought Branham could have been the guy here. Because there's been talks of, Kobe White getting moved.
Yep.
And that's the thing over. He's literally just better Kobe White.
It's true.
So
he is. But I don't need better Kobe White. I need a wing with size. And I know that we should address that in free agency. But I don't trust that we will get the guys we're looking for. That's why I feel like you have to go for someone with the size and upside. I think that getting another one-way shooting guard is a problem. So that's why I'm like, hey, let's get a two-way player. Let's get somebody who I have immense confidence in him continuing to grow his game. Like I said, Baylor's fucking team is just professionals. They know how to play defense. They're high effort, high motor. Like, I'm all in on him. I don't know. That sounds a little Jim Romish for me, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here at 19. See, like, I'm in a weird spot because I see someone and I'm like, oh yeah, that should be the guy. But then at the same time, I'm like, how good is he gonna actually be at the next level? You know what? I'll take the early dive. At 19, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves taking Nikola Jovic. Like, I'm in a weird spot, and Timberwolves fans understand. I question Jovic as much as anyone else. The only thing is, though, like, at small forward for for the Timberwolves, it's not incredibly deep. Like, obviously, yes, like, I think right now, like, whenever everyone's healthy, I'm pretty sure Ant's been running, like, the 3. Like, there's been times he's been running the 3. But, you know, like, this is the thing. There is a very real chance D'Lo is on the move.
True.
I mean, he gets brought up every fucking year. We never know when he's actually good. I don't think he's been on one team for more than a year without being talked about getting traded. So, yep. I mean, hey, you know, there's always the chance that he gets moved, so Ant's permanently at the 2. And that's the thing, and because then just everyone afterwards, I mean, like, Jake Layman, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Jake Layman ain't awful, but he shouldn't play a lot. That's why I always found it funny. Did you ever see the video of someone was heckling Timberwolves players when they were coming out in the tunnel, and someone asked Jake Layman how many minutes he's going to play, and he threw up the 0?
Yeah, look, he's a realist. He keeps it real, but he is a fucking lunch pail kid. He's a coach's son. He's a try-hard kind of guy on the court. And he has actually helped them out in good portions, but yeah, he's not somebody who's going to get 30 minutes a night. He should not.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think it's Jovic's offensive upside is incredible. Now, granted, the Timberwolves are already a pretty good offensive team. That's the thing, and I don't think he starts right away. I don't think you guys are trading D'Lo in the offseason. I think it'll maybe be like a season or 2 down the line if nothing overall changes.
Yep.
But, you know, like, you'll be running the bench unit with other players, and I think his offensive ability on the bench is going to make up for the fact that Jovic's not really a defender. If that man is a one-way machine.
I mean, it's an interesting pick. It's an interesting pick because I'm on one side, I love him because his offensive fucking potential is out the roof. On the other side, he is god awful defensively. And he's also like 6'11". He measured in at 6'11" with a 7-foot wingspan, and I think a vert of like 2. So again, like maybe. Well, no, he's not as bad as PB&J. He did not. I think that was an all-time low. No, but I think that his position in the NBA as a creating 4, a ball handling 4 is very interesting, and a lot of it comes down to the T-Wolves just saying, hey, that's the highest upside on the board. We'll take it because whatever. I mean, that's a lot of people question, you know, can you win with Cat with a mystery box next to him? A lot of people like Vando. Vanderbilt's been great for them as a rebounder and you know, some defensive situations. I personally am a big fan of the backup wing. Maybe you might have heard of him. I'm hoping you have. Well, look, I talked him up for an entire fucking year. And McDaniels is a fucking two-way god. And he doesn't get enough minutes. And maybe that's why I'm like, you should have taken a fucking guard because it's McDaniels and Ant together are the wings of the future. But no, I mean, I can't fault you at all for taking Jovic here. He's going to be an absolute offensive stud.
I thought of taking a guard, but then I'm like, there's only really one guard here I'd really consider. But you know, just as of now, you know, I think it's the pick to make.
Yep. No, you do you. Which falls then to me at 20. We got the San Antone Spurs. Thank you for Thad Young, I think the Raptors say. Weird fucking move mid-season. I guess helped him out having a veteran presence, but I don't think it was worth it. I believe that was the correct trade, so correct me if I'm wrong there, but pretty sure that was the Thad Young deal. So, I'm the Spurs. Who did I take already in this draft class? San Antonio at 9. You had them take
Mathurian.
Ben Mathurin, which is I love it. Ben Mathurin's great. The only question mark for me now, I've got a bunch of guys who are potentially free agents. RFAs, UFAs, doesn't fucking matter. Jakob Poeltl being the primary concern. Are we going to keep our big defensive presence in the post? One of the best rim protectors in the NBA, literally second only to like probably Gobert and maybe I'll put him third. I'll put him top 3 rim protectors so nobody gets by hurt. But I think that is the biggest thing. If they can lock him down again, get him under contract long term, that's great. Lonnie Walker probably let the kid walk. Seemed pretty fucking pissed off at the fact that, you know, you basically told him you're riding the pine pony to end the season. So I think that's probably a done deal. They just drafted Why am I blanking on his name? You made fun of him earlier for being a top lottery pick last
Primo?
year. Yeah, Primo Pasta last year. I can't say his name without saying Pasta after. I apologize to fans who are probably sick of that shit. But Primo Pasta drafted last year, got limited run in the NBA, but looked pretty good in the G League. I love Devin Vassell on this team. I love Keldon Johnson. Personally, I think they need to get some more size on their end. It's either you're going for a 4-5 tweener or you're going. Yeah, I mean that's really the problem. And talent wise, who's left on the board? I asterisk this already and say John Butler is probably going back to college. I love him as a prospect out of Florida State. He's a 7'1" fucking shooter. Crazy long, crazy quick because he weighs like $190. If he was on the board and staying in this draft, I would probably be very interested to see the Spurs take a shot at John Butler here. But I'm going to assume he's going to go back to college because people are talking that if he goes back and Florida State gives him more than 12 fucking minutes a game, he'll be a lottery pick. So I'm going to asterisk out there. Which means that leaves me with literally just, there's so many good options. This is the problem. I'm clicking between my tabs, Soapy. I'm struggling hard. This is no prep. This is live. My brain's churning. I will. No, not doing it. Not fucking doing it. I'll take upside again. I will just go for upside and hope and potential because I think that part of the problem is Keldon Johnson struggled playing the 4 against bigger 4s. So you do want someone with some good size out there. Even though I disagreed earlier about taking him, I think this could be an EJ Liddell team. I think EJ Liddell would fit in pretty fucking well into what they're doing down there. So even though I don't love him as a talent, even though I think there are better players potentially on the board for this team, I think EJ Liddell fits what they need. And they never pick need, though. They drafted guards year after year after year. Man, there's no one else I like better right now for them. I'm locking it in. EJ Liddell. Sorry.
Funny, that's not the player I thought that would go there.
Really?
There is a heavy upside guy right now, still available.
A heavy upside guy.
He was a lottery pick to start the year off, and then he stunk it up. Got outshined by 2 of his teammates in the same league. I'm surprised you didn't go Jaden Hardy.
I can't take another fucking guard. I can't do it. They can't play 7 guards on the court at the same time.
They'll find a way.
They can't do it.
They can probably play.
There are some wings. There are some wings I like, but yeah, here's the problem. I'll just say this right now. This draft is so fucking shooting guard heavy. So combo guard heavy, if you will. If you think that some people might actually be able to create for others, I strongly disagree with a lot of that. But there are about 45 fucking guys who are between 6 foot and 6'5", who all are just, there's so fucking many of them. If you guys need a combo guard, this is your goddamn year. You'll get insane value. But that means everything else is now a reach. It feels like I thought about going hey, we could say this could be a Gabriel Procida spot. I love Gabriel. I think he is an athletic wing who can he can dunk, he can shoot, he can do a little bit of everything. He gets 3 minutes a game though playing overseas at Bologna. So that's a bit of a mystery box. Could be interesting because the Spurs have 17 picks this year. They could draft and stash him. Or he could come over, play in the G League. Either way, fine. Jalen Williams, another guy who's flying up boards right now at the wing. Could be a good ball handler. Interesting. No, they need goddamn size. So I went with size. Could have said Christian Coloco. Still feels a little wrong. Right-ish area, but I think that they want to lock in Pirtle, and I like Jacques Landale. So we'll just let that be.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Like I said, John Butler would be my guy here. If he's available, John Butler, I just don't believe he will be in this year's draft class.
Oh, yeah, and that's fair. So, time to see how much Denver fans will end up hating me. Because I don't think this is a reach. I have this player in this range. I have the Nuggets going David Roddy.
What?
The thing is, he's going to play the small forward at the next level. Who the fuck is your backup 3? Because also, who's going to eventually be your starter? Because God only knows if MPJ's 75-year-old back is going to hold up the whole year. Like, obviously, I hope it does.
So for those unaware, you're talking about the David Roddy, who is a center in college, effectively, because he's 6'5" and about what 265.
Yeah, and wasn't he like 11.5% body fat?
Yeah, he did have an interesting way in where people did start to clown on him on Twitter a little bit for his weight and his body fat percentage.
I mean, hey, he's a big three. He's gonna play three because there ain't no way in hell he's playing center at the NBA level at 6'5".
You play him next to him, and he knows how to use the paint.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The main reason I am going with it is Roddy is just a jack of all trades type player. He does everything that you need him to. Essentially, obviously
6'6", 260. There we go.
Yeah. So, I mean, big boy.
Big boy.
Who else is a big fat boy on his team?
Who dat?
They can eat fucking hamburgers together. Imagine all the pictures of Jokic in the do-rag, the fucking cigarettes. You could put fucking David Roddy next to him now.
Good God.
Yeah.
What have you done? How? Oh my God, you're right. You're gonna piss off so many Nuggets fans. I have to ask. Do you think that Malachi Branham is not on their board because of Bones Highland last year succeeding the way he did? Second team all rookie, looked really sharp as a scoring option for them off the bench. Do you think that Malachi Branham did he, or were you just focused on we've got a hole at the wing, we need to get a big wing?
Yeah, I was.
And I mean, David Roddy's a big guy.
Yeah, he's gonna fill that hole and probably have a muffin top over the top of that hole. I can't say anything. I'm fat as shit too, so yeah, I'm fat shaming other fat people.
I mean, you.
I mean, to be fair, he's also only like 11%. I'm like 95%.
Dang.
But like that's the thing though. Like I think like Branham to me, I think is better. The only thing is though, I think they have so many guards on that team. And I don't think a lot of them can really flex over to the three effectively. I think Roddy, I mean, granted, Branham and Roddy basically being the same height.
I say Branham has a crazy wingspan too, if I remember right. I'm trying to find the numbers right now.
Yeah, I know he has a really good wingspan. But like, and that's the thing of where, like, Nuggets fans, you can hate me all you want, but just understand when this fat boy shows up and starts fucking getting buckets for your team. Remember who said you should take him. Take it from one fat guy to another. Fat guy knows fat. And apparently, at this point, it's going to equate to a fat guy knows ball.
Fair. I'm a buyer. Malachi Branham, 6'10 wingspan, 6.5 standing reach versus David Roddy, 6'11.5 wingspan, 8'9 standing reach. So, I
think it's also just Roddy is a better defender. That's the main thing.
Yeah, Roddy actually plays fucking defense, is what you mean to say. Because Malachi Branham's all hypothetical defense. He's hypothetical. He might be equipped with tools to play defense. Can you convince him to play defense? That's a different. That's a little different. Good.
Like I said, Branham on my board is much higher than Roddy is.
Yep.
The only thing is though, I think it's Nuggets are taking need. They're not going to take Branham just to have another guard that now is it going to be, does Mike Malone hate this guard too and not want to play him all year?
Fair. But you know what happens because of that? The Grizzlies sprint to the fucking podium for Malachi Branham. The Grizzlies get Malachi. Yes. Let's just go ahead and lock that in. Instantly done. Grizzlies add someone who has insane offensive upside. He came in with a bag of fucking tricks already to college that I did not see coming. And then you've got hey, we've got one of the better coaching staffs for young kids to continue to develop their games. I really think that he could be a fucking, him falling in the draft to 22, huge success for the Memphis Grizzlies to come in here, swipe him up, and have him be he could be the, I know Ja's defense is terrible. I know. I'm the biggest Ja fan in the world. Been on that train before you, probably. And by you, I don't mean you, Soapy, or Ricky. I mean you as in the fan, because I was there. I was there from year one.
Yeah, no, I've heard it. And he's not lying, everyone.
So I am saying, though, that they need someone else who can ball handle and create for themselves, someone who can hit catch and shoot jumpers at an insane rate. That's, I think, a huge win for this Grizzlies team. So I am doing a little happy dance inside about getting Branham at 22. Absolutely.
And obviously, if the order was different, Branham would have been gone at 14.
Yeah, I mean,
mind you,
we got different preferences. We got different big boards. That's what you get from a dual mock draft.
Now, see, here at 23, though, this falls into the weird spot because it's like they're gonna fucking be good no matter what. Like they're gonna be a fringe. I mean, I say fringe because the fact that Kyrie was sniffing bath salts and praising the moon and all that weird shit. Mm-hmm. And obviously all the stuff with the vaccine. I'm not going to get into it. Everyone's heard it to death. Yep. And their newest point guard having a fucked up back. So like it's weird to figure out like what they need because obviously it would be center. The only thing is though Claxton's still there. Like Drummond's serviceable. He probably shouldn't be your starter, but like I mean he's okay. Yeah. And then the only thing is like I mean you know me and anyone who knows me and watched my first mock knows I am not fucking having this guy go here ever. Okay. The only thing is though I'm also looking at it where it's like. They have so many guards. They're another team that needs a 3. And I'm just looking through and I'm like, there's not really a 3 that I'm like, oh shit, like I really think they should take this guy. You know what?
Okay. I'd say I could make some suggestions if you're open to it. I know it's not my pick, but
they're going to be the team that takes Brokita.
Okay.
I think Brokita's going to play the 3 at the next level. Especially with the fact that Brokita is one of the best, and if not the best shooter in this draft. Obviously, I think there's... What's his name from Davison? Isn't it like Lee? I think is his last name.
Yeah.
I don't know if he declared or not, but like... I mean,
if he's in the draft. He's a junior. He hasn't signed an agent yet, but I believe he will be coming out.
Yeah, so basically, Brokita is a sharpshooter. That's all you need him to do. And guess what? You can have him learn under another sharpshooter in Joe Harris.
It's true. He's also 18 times more athletic than Joe Harris, so he won't, break.
Yeah, Joe Harris may be able to shoot like 50% from 3, but
he legit.
You'll get the guy who can. Yeah, I mean, you can also then get the guy that can shoot like 41% from 3, and learn from the guy who shoots 50.
And his backdoor cuts are way better. Let's be honest. You can use him in some interesting actions coming. The defense is focused in on either Kyrie or KD. On ball, you can use him backdoor cut, come off screen, something. Be creative about it. You're the fucking Nets. You'll find a way to get at the ball. I like the idea of him being drafted in this range. I don't love the fit because I don't know that they would take someone who is as raw as Gabriel. And again, this pick could get traded too. This could be another Nets will take a player to move him for a veteran or some shit like that kind of thing. So, we are making some, assumptions with this, but yeah, okay. That puts me with Milwaukee at 24. 24. Milwaukee, really good performance in the playoffs. Did as much as you could ask for a team without their second best player. Chris Midd missing, obviously, chunk of time. That's entirely the reason they lost. Don't blow it up. Don't write it off as anything else. Also, don't fucking take Walker Kessler. He is not the solution at center. Anybody who thinks that, go get another shot blocking big who's slow as fuck. That's the wrong pick. I know, Soapy, you're smiling. I can see it from here. It's ear to ear.
This is the guy, by the way. That's the guy who I thought you were going to take here, and this is the guy I thought we were going to argue for.
Yeah, no.
I swear off show about this.
I like Walker Kessler. I don't think that they should take Walker Kessler, though. I think that's the wrong pick. They've got some interesting holes in their team, and I think the biggest one is at point guard after Drew Holiday, who is kind of combo. He's worked well for them. The idea of getting, a combo wing or someone who has ball handling ability, though, to me is very interesting. I'm at a toss up because I like a lot of guys here. I don't think they go for like upside, like Jaden Hardy. Somebody could be like, oh my god, Jaden Hardy's still on the board, take him. Fuck no. No, this is a championship team looking at their championship window. So I'm trying to keep it focused in on that. So if I'm looking for guys who can contribute day one, like I'm looking at guys like Christian Braun, Tevin Brown, Keon Ellis, and then you can continue going like Wendell Moore, Vince Williams. Those are probably the guys I'm really focusing on. From point guard, really, Kenny Chandler. I've seen some talk about Kenny Chandler going here. I think that's interesting. I don't want to rule it out, but I also know that coach over there fucking hates players who aren't veterans. Javon Carter played really well, deserved to get the minutes in the playoffs. Guess what? George Hill gets fucking minutes though instead. So like, I'm not gonna put Kenny Chandler on a team where he won't get fucking minutes. What's the point? Why draft him there? So instead, like I said, like even Jane Williams, Santa Clara product. Like I said, he's been climbing boards. He had crazy measurables, which is a big reason why he's climbing up those boards. So Jalen Williams to me is probably the strongest pick out of that group. Christian Braun, right or wrong, has been given the like Grayson Allen like kiss of death. Basically, people are like, oh, would you draft another one of him? Like, I don't want to even get into that. They're very different players. But people talking, people be people. Vince Williams and Wendell Moore, very good too. Vince Williams, I think, has the highest upside out of that group. So I'm gonna go Wendell Moore Jr. He's not my number one on my big board for the spot, but I think Wendell Moore fits a hole they have, and he's someone who is versatile, who can play up and down. He can switch on everything. He's been a primary ball handler now in his final year in college. He has been a catch and shoot player. He does make some incredibly dumb decisions at times, but playing alongside some of the smartest minds in basketball, like Drew Holiday, I think will help him grow. So I think that I will go Wendell Moore Jr. here to the Bucks.
And Moore's a guy that I'm also kind of surprised fell this far. Because that's the thing. Over like obviously, he's been talking to second round teams. Like for instance, we talked to the Clippers. Now obviously, Clippers have been a team that we know at this point will trade up for whoever the hell they want.
Yeah, very very eager. Love it.
So, I mean, it's interesting. Like seeing him go this late, and I think he fits exactly with what they need. Like I genuinely thought you were gonna go Kenny Chandler. Because, I mean, like, they are in desperate need of a point guard. If George Hill is your backup, like, you're on life support at that point.
But it's the coach who's deciding that. They have Javon Carter outplayed George Hill. There's no argument against it. But the coach won't give him minutes, so why am I going to put Kenny Chandler on a team where he won't get fucking, like... Maybe Kenny Chandler is the right pick, but I didn't, because personal pride wouldn't let me. Just feel free, Milwaukee fans, let us know your thoughts.
I mean, trust me. Even if you didn't want them to, they'll let you know. Every one of these fans will definitely let us know that we fucked up the draft somehow.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a disaster.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it happens, though. So, 25, I mentioned them earlier. He's still here, so I may as well take him. I have the Spurs taking Jaden Hardy at 25. We just continue the taking a guard every year. We just continue it one way or another. And this is the thing, though. I personally... I mean, I know I am much different than a lot of people. I think Hardy could still possibly go lottery, only if you truly think you can get rid of his shot IQ that is the same as a fucking squirrel.
Yep. Good luck.
If you believe you can fix that, you have an absolute stud on your hands. Like, there's a reason that he was the, like, oh yeah, he's like top 7 coming into the year. Because the fact of, like, he has the ability to be an elite scorer. The problem is, that man will shoot the second he crosses half court.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, how about you don't? How about you, kind of slow it down, play the game of basketball a little bit better? But what team to teach you that? And the team that uses all 24 seconds every fucking possession.
And they're not unfamiliar with inefficient shooters. See their point guard this year.
They're also not, they're also not uncommonly sending everyone to the G League.
I was going to say, he will continue to spend time in the G League.
Yeah, he's, like, the second he gets up there, going to be like, yeah, just put your G League uniform back on. You're going right back.
Yep. I think that's a good gamble, though, for your third first round pick.
Yeah, third.
third. Jesus, yeah. Yeah, that's a great gamble.
And that's the thing. Where, like, if he fails at 25, okay, it's the 25th. Like, obviously, you don't want to really miss on any first-round picks, but, like, he's a project.
Yep.
Not every project hits. If he hits, hell, you have a scary backcourt then of Murray and Hardy. Now, granted, we mentioned the Zach Levine thing. Who knows? Hardy may not even get a fucking chance.
True. It's true.
But hey, who knows?
They got mine spent. Yeah. Puts me with the Mavs. 26. Honest answer, I would trade back. I would try to do a deal with, like, the Magic for their 2 seconds at the top of the round and a future, something. Because the guy I want would be Ismail Kamagate. And I think that there's a chance he could fall to, like, pick 33, which would be the Magic's pick in the second round, I believe. Somewhere about there. So I think Ismail fits exactly what they need. He's a rim running big who loves to block the ever-loving shit out of the ball. I have seen a lot of people who are like, they should go after Christian Koloko. I think his growth arc is interesting. He is he looks like he could be a better shooter. But I do like Kamagate as he's the better defender. He's a great fucking rim protector. I think he could roll really well with that team. He gives them size for the first time in a long time. Who's playable? No offense, Boban. I love you. I love you, Boban. But, like, we can't be having Dwight Powell out there all fucking night. Can't do it. Can't have it. So, do I reach? Do I reach here and just take him just for the sake of he's the guy who they should take? Or do I go and be like, oh, well, they could lose Jalen Brunson, so they should take Kennedy Chandler? No. Fucking no. The answer is no. But they have so many wings. They could use another scorer who could ball handle. Like, upside. If we're talking pure upside left, like Vince Williams Jr. out of VCU, I love this kid. I absolutely straight up love this kid. And I think that because they play multiple guards, I know Tim Hardaway Jr. is not playing this year because he's injured, which would change their entire offense and change the looks you get. I love DFS. I think Bullock's been great. Like, they've got such a fun team. I'm just gonna say Ismail Kamagate goes because that's who I think they should end up with. I just feel like they're gonna trade back maybe a couple picks and still get him. But if you feel like he could go, I mean, there are teams left who would be interested in him. So let's just lock it in. Ismail Kamagate.
Yeah, I also really like this one. I got really scared when you got to the Mavs. I'm like, please don't do Walker. I'm not arguing about fucking Walker today.
No, you're good.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. I'm also a really big fan of Kamagate. I think he is the next best center up on the board at that point. Which, mind you, there's a pretty sizable fall off of centers.
I was gonna say it's Mark Williams, it's Duran, it's him, and there's even a gap between those two, and then it's everybody else.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And then everyone else is kind of like they're interchangeable a little bit. Like if you want a shot blocker who's just Hassan Whiteside at the next level, you can take Walker. If you want a guy who's actually good, you can take Ishmael. Koloko's really interesting.
I'd say Koloko's he's a bit of a wild card. There are some people who are in love with this game. They think that hey, he's a late bloomer. He's got a lot of upside left in him. And then you got people like Orlando Robinson, who he's a second rounder, but he's got that Thomas Bryant offensive vibe to his game that you love to see. So like, there's going to be value picks. Center will always have some value, and also we just talk. I know this isn't time, but I'm assuming Travion Williams will not go in the first round for you. He's not going in the first round for me, but he's standing the fuck out.
You say that, but I don't have the team that would take him. So So mind you.
28, we'll see.
I mean, I love that you already know the team I would have him go to. So
let's keep on rolling. Let's talk Dallas. Let's talk Miami. What do you got for our Eastern Conference finalists?
Yeah, so this one, it falls into a weird spot because for me, they need a 4. Like, I'm gonna be real here. Like, you can play, like, you can kind of move people around, but like in reality, like actual 4s, Morris is your actual real 4. Because otherwise, it's like, yeah. Then it's like, okay, like how much longer can PJ Tucker really help at the next level? But then at the same time, I'm sitting here and I'm like, they could just get a guy who helps at the 4, and like they could take a guy that could potentially turn into something good. Before, I think in my last mock, this was before we realized PB&J had fucking cement shoes. Like, I had him going here. The only thing is, the fact that this man sucks at basketball and isn't athletic, that knocks him out of the fucking ballpark here.
Not having either hurts.
Yeah. No, I'm not a huge fan of this pick myself, but I think this guy is a first rounder. I'm gonna have them go with Marshawn Beauchamp.
Oh.
I think Beauchamp is a guy that he's gonna be. I mean, he's a bench guy, straight up bench guy. You are hoping he develops his 3-pointer.
Yep.
You're essentially just drafting Hamidou Diallo.
Yes, you are.
Like a better shooting Hamidou Diallo is essentially all you can hope for at this point.
Is he gonna be a better shooter?
I mean, his shot's already better than Hamidou's. I'm gonna be real here. Like Hamidou looks like a kindergartner when he shoots the ball.
Okay, the form isn't great, but it goes in at an impressive rate for what he is.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I think it's Miami has a good history of getting people to become better shooters.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like he'll have people around him. He has Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, like guys who are good shooters. Especially like he's a very bad version of what Tyler Hero is kind of like. Like obviously, Beauchamp's also a fucking freak athlete. I want people to not understate that.
Yep.
Beauchamp's athleticism is fucking scary.
That's right.
So, like, and that's the thing. Where one, it pains me to give Miami a player who's going to be good. Because, sorry, Miami fans, I don't like you guys. Like, it just is what it is. I got tired of hearing you guys say Goran Dragic and Hassan Whiteside are scary. I got tired of hearing that for a while. So,
yeah,
you guys are on the shit list.
Fair.
Yeah, but I think Beauchamp's a really good pick for them. This was also a team that I was looking, and I'm like, do I take Kennedy Chandler? Because let's be real, like Gabe Vincent, I like Gabe Vincent. The only thing is, though, could Kennedy Chandler be better than Gabe Vincent? The only thing is Kennedy Chandler going to stuff people's shit like Gabe Vincent does? Like
Chandler's all about the steals. He's probably not going to stuff as much, but he is a dog defensively, and I think they do love that. But at the same time, they're gonna literally just wait until the second round finishes and just sign somebody who's just gonna be an absolute fucking monster. So that's more Miami style, Let's just go undrafted free agent. That's Miami's pick.
Yeah, they're gonna get somebody. That's the thing. I love them because of that, but they do value that toughness, athleticism. They'll always take shots. One of my guys who I appreciate them giving a shot to was Keziak Pala. Unfortunately, did not pan out in the NBA well enough. But again, that's that, hey, we want an athletic wing who has the upside. And I think that Marshawn Beauchamp could be that at the next level. So good luck to them. Okay. That puts me on the spot because at 28, you already rumored it into, you poked me on it, saying, hey, maybe Travion Williams would be a great fit for the Golden State Warriors. Small ball 5, somebody who is a great passer, smart, crafty player, pretty good defensively, was a veteran already. Reminds you of someone, Draymond something, like that's, you get a little ish shades,
That's literally the only reason I was going to have them draft it. It's like every other year, they just fucking either trade for a guy who's like Draymond, or they fucking draft the guy. It's like, just fucking take him.
Yeah, I think he's better than Eric Paschal was. He's better than Juan Toscano Anderson.
Cash considerations when they
definitely better than cash considerations. You're right on that. Like, I think he's a better player than all those people we've mentioned. 28 seems. You know what? It's not a terrible reach for me.
It wouldn't be a terrible reach to take Travion Williams there. He fits on the team really well, in theory. Everything about what I just said is accurate. But at the same time, this is the Warriors. And they're probably going to move on from maybe Wiggins this offseason. They did draft Moody. They did draft Jonathan Kuminga last year. Kuminga looks like a fucking monster when he doesn't fuck up in 5 seconds and get benched. I look forward to seeing that more next year. But it means they could go wing. They could lose Jordan Poole, I believe, because someone's going to give him a bag. So they could look up for another scorer, perhaps, or another ball handler. Like, I'm be honest. Like, I got like 7 guys who could go here. Kennedy Chandler's one of them, because why not? Because value at this point for Kenny Chandler, I know, is pretty good. You know, hey, he plays defense. He shoots uncanny well. That I did not expect him to shoot as well as he did. I don't know that he will continue to, but fuck it. Jalen Williams, Ja'Kavion Smith are both risers. I think they won't go with someone like Christian Cloco. Jake LaRavia, I've seen some talk out of Wake Forest for them being interested in him. I'm not sold on that quite yet. Jordan Hall's another name I've seen tossed around. I still think Vince Williams Jr., potential highest upside of a player. Leonard Miller, if they're just taking shots in the dark at athletics, guys who are big upside, super raw athletically. Leonard Miller is the guy who came up late from Canada as he is eligible, as it turns out, for this year's draft class. Maybe he could be the next Pascal Siakam. Thanks to Ricky, I want to call him C-Scam. Thank you for ruining that person's name. Or Travion Williams. So like there's a lot of options here. There's a lot of shooters left in this draft class too. They could go like Christian Braun, Tevin Brown, Ryan Rollins, Keon Ellis. All these picks fit and would make too much goddamn sense is the problem. So, after unleashing that entire list, what do you think if they took PB&J? Just out of pure, like, if it's going to work for any team, if he's going to work in the NBA at all, I mean, he's basically got the same athleticism of, what's the name? I got to look it up. Warriors roster. I am so off with names. For those of you who haven't seen me in a long time, know that I am the worst human being when it comes to names because of names being, a problem for me. So what I'm trying to say is he's literally got the same athleticism as, why is he not even showing? I swear to God, he's still in this.
What, old man?
Yes.
Iguodala?
No, not Iguodala. Current salary cap table. We're going to wait for me to figure this out.
Jonas Jerebko? Bielitsa?
Bielitsa, yes. Why is he not show on their salary cap on Spot Rack? That's weird as fuck. But yeah, like he's as athletic as Bielitsa. That's where I'm putting him athletically, which is absolutely
very low bar.
It's so low, but he can shoot it.
Looks like he's running at a YMCA game sometimes.
And that's exactly what Patrick Baldwin's jump tells us that he's at. So, that's basically the Jimmy played out of in college too. UW Milwaukee. Sorry. Take the insult. I'm going to go Jordan Hall. After all that's done, Jordan Hall. Jordan Hall is my pick. Sorry about it. Travion Williams would be a great fit for them because of all the Draymond comps. Bunch of wings out there could be chosen. Jordan Hall gives me that intriguing combo of he's got size, he's got some athleticism, he's got a good shot, he can pass. He's a little bit of everything. Is he good enough to be, next level? We'll see. I take it back. It's Jalen Williams. I undid my pick. It's Jalen Williams. Santa Clara. Done. Sorry about it.
No problem.
I got it before the next envelope went up there. 29. Memphis Grizzlies. With their second pick.
Yeah, see, because now this one falls into an interesting spot. Because for me, I'm looking at it, everyone, and I just have the thought in the back of my head. Could they be a team that swings on a point guard? Because I like this thing. I like their backups. I honestly do. I like the Anthony Melton. The only thing is he long for the lineup? I honestly don't know. I don't watch the Grizzlies. I don't keep up with them much, so Grizzlies fans, you guys probably hate me from the fucking first one.
I can answer.
Yeah?
Melton is more of a combo. He kind of plays 1 through 3-ish for them. Obviously Jones is their key backup guard, and everybody's concerned that someone will pay him money because he had a fantastic season this year with all their wins. Without John Morant, it's kind of propelled him to he's probably backup point guard number 1 available for all the teams out there. So if the Knicks maybe strike out on Brunson, there's concern that he could get a bag there. There's also other teams who are in the running too.
And so that basically answers my question then.
Yeah,
We're going to point guard, but not Kennedy Chandler.
What?
It's the guy I have Dick Rode this whole year.
No.
Everyone said he sucked. Everyone said he looked real good in scrimmages.
No.
We're going Jean Montero. Grizzlies fans, if you want to throw bricks at me, just know I live in Michigan. That's about as far as you guys will get with the knowledge.
You did not just take Jean Montero.
Oh, Montero's going there. Last pick's got to be a fucking absolute banger. Here we go. Jean Montero, I think, is going to be excellent at the next level. Yeah, I think Jean Montero is going to be the GOAT. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Not even trolling. I think Jean Montero is going to be really good at the next level. I know there's questions. I know that's the thing. I think he's going to be an excellent 3-level scorer. He's a good enough playmaker that he's a career backup. You're drafting him to be a backup. He's never going to fight for he's never going to fight for a fucking starting lineup role over fucking Shaw. Getting the guy, his ego's already in the dirt. You may as well just keep him in the dirt.
No, Grizzlies fans that I tried. I disagree with this pick. I will stamp it. Jesus fucking Christ, no.
Well,
but Soapy is your GM. Soapy has decided Jean Montero will be your backup point guard, probably of the future. Thank you, because that puts me at 30 now to wrap up the entire first round. We did it. OKC at 30. Now, I was gonna say so I took Jabari at 2, and then at 12, I think I took Jeremy Sochan. So I guess. Ooh. Would they be the team that takes Travion Williams? Cool. Is he the center, or Christian Coloco? Ooh. Both of those names seem like really good options. I'll tell you why. Guess their center's under contract next year. There are none. It's Derek Favors, who's like 6'9" and shrinking because he's so fucking old. They played JRE at center at times to some success. Jerry is like an offensively worse, defensively worse Travion Williams, in my opinion. Some people really like him. They think his offensive skill set makes up for the... We'll see. I'm not writing him off. I'm just saying we'll see. Obviously, Mike Muscala's there. That's probably not getting club opted. They have infinite money too. That's the crazy thing. Like, this team has literally under $45,000, probably $50 million spent next year already. So they have a ton of money. They could go out and spend money and like force DeAndre Ayton to get a max contract by either them or someone else. They could just be real dicks about, throwing money around because they have infinite cash and no centers. Do you need a center, though, in the NBA? Some people would ask, if you have Jabari and Jeremy Sochan, do you need to get in a big? Because both of them kind of can play the 5-ish. Not true 5s, but more the new NBA 5, perhaps. Ooh. But also, I'm the goddamn Thunder, and my picks don't have to make sense. They've got 17 fucking guards under roster. Do I trust any of them after Shea and Josh, though? No. Kenny Chandler's still on the board, and that bugs me. But also, Dalen Terry could be available. And that's also interesting to me. I'm going to really draw out this pick because I don't have any fucking clue where to go with this one. Sophie, do you have any like long shot? Like, it's the Thunder, so they're gonna take.
I think Coloco.
Leonard Miller.
I think Coloco's the really interesting one.
Okay. I
mean, as much as I hate it, they probably would be a team that would look at Kessler. Once again, I've already stated my feelings before about Kessler.
Yeah, I agree with those statements for the most part. Why not? Yeah.
I mean, Dalen Terry, the only reason I just don't... It's just with Dalen Terry, it's essentially like, okay, like, do you think that, like, basically, what's his ceiling for them?
I'm just getting another 6'6" athletic guy who can ball handle. Could be good.
Could be.
Because I'm trying to think. I always say his name wrong. I think it's Minot. I think is how you say his name. That could be an option if they want to go for someone. It could be the team that just fucking draft mustache man Drew Timmy himself.
Oh, they would never.
I mean, dude, who knows, dude?
They would fucking never. I feel like this
They also
team,
could be a team who goes Jordan Hall, since he's still on the board.
They could go
After
Jordan
being drafted
Hall.
then dropped.
Yeah, he did get drafted then undrafted.
Imagine that happened at the actual draft, dude. I'd be fuming if someone called me and they're
That'd
like,
be
"Hey,
rough.
here's the pick," and I'm like, "Actually, wait, we wrote the wrong name." I'd be like,
And again,
"Still on your team."
this is the problem because the OKC Thunder are really a BPA team. I don't need to draft a center. I shouldn't have said that. The Thunder are a BPA team. Your position doesn't matter. They don't have anything that matters. I'm going to then put it out there that they BPA. Ooh, there's some of the guys who are close. I'm gonna just lock in Vince Williams Jr., a VCU product. If you guys haven't seen him, I think he has huge upside. Probably goes underrated. Probably doesn't go in the first round. But I've got him as first round talent on my big board, so you should take a look at it.
I mean, yeah.
This is a selfish pick because they could go PB&J, they could go Leonard Miller, they could go a million
To be honest,
other guys.
I don't think PB&J is best available at this point.
I don't think so either, but I think someone
his
goes,
skill
he's
set
a
is
top
still
10 preseason guy or high school guy.
Yeah, like, I think his skill set is still good. The only thing is is his athletics going to absolutely handicap the ever-living hell out of that skill set? And I think it will.
Definitely some
So
concerns
it's like,
there.
so basically at that point, it's like, okay, like, are you either hoping, A, he just had a really bad combine,
Yep.
which happens. Some people just stink it up at combine.
It's true. It's true.
But then it's also, and I hate even fucking mentioning this because it's kind of getting to like people we missed and like people who could be drafted who we didn't think. Could they be the team that takes a fucking swing on Mac Christie or Houston?
Oh,
So
they
those
absolutely. Caleb Houston could go here. Why not?
Yeah, like the only reason I'm saying that is just because of the fact of those two they declared. I don't know if Houston has changed his situation like 3 times already, so I don't know if he's actually coming out or not.
Yeah, I say Bryce McGowan's another guy who we do like those big wings with ball handling skills. Bryce McGowan's could be an interesting project for someone to work on.
Yeah, and as well,
I mean, Harrison Ingram, same boat too.
Yeah, like there's just a lot of people that and my whole thing is just like some of the people that they declared, and it's like, why the hell did you declare? Like, I'm worried of what team promised certain people. Because
Yeah.
like PB&J after this combine, if he is still sticking in it, someone promised this man like 20s pick.
Yeah.
Oh, at that point, it's like, okay, who did it? Who done it?
Who wants to give a slow, unathletic, underperforming, maybe has upside because his shot looks good but doesn't go in kind of guy? Maybe if he's your fourth option number 4 on your team, maybe he could be good. Like that's for me is the concern is like a team like they could try to. There's a way to mind fuck your way into that could be a pick for us.
Yeah, and just kind of, and then obviously you already kind of touched on Kennedy Chandler still being there. Like, to me, I'm not high in Kennedy Chandler. I've made it well known that I've called him a member of the Lollipop Guild in the Discord.
Yep.
Which, I mean, I only say because I'm 2 inches taller than him. So, I'm borderline Lollipop Guild. Or at least in basketball.
But you're not a basketball player.
Yeah, I'm just a fat guy who sits at home.
There you go.
Okay. But again, that's just the thing. To me, I know he will probably go first. One of the teams will take a swing on him. Yes. I just personally wouldn't.
Yes, they will.
But yeah, that was certainly a wild ride, especially there at the end with the totally not controversial pick of Sean Montero. All I'm saying, Grizzlies fans, you're going to thank me when Sean Montero was the best guard in this draft. I will ride this bandwagon. I don't give a shit if Sean Montero is actually the worst player to ever touch basketball. I'm ride or die with this. I said at the beginning of the year he'd be the best point guard. Dyson Daniels could already fucking prove me wrong. I already know that.
Much better. He's much better.
Yeah, but I'm riding with it. I'm not giving up on my boy.
Okay.
I know he's sucked in a league that you can't find highlights for. You have a better chance of finding a flying pig than watching overtime highlights.
Yep.
because over time you gotta fix your fucking website or something.
They really
Make the
do.
games easier to see.
They really do.
Like I shouldn't have to like deep dive through a website for like an hour and a half to find a scoreboard.
Yeah.
It's like, how about you know, if I could
Year 2, they'll be better year 2, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you know, this was a fun time just to run you guys through the second half of the draft. Because we already ran through the first half. I don't want to list all of them. We've been talking for a hot minute now. But 16, the Hawks drafted Ty. 17, Houston drafted Tari Eason. 18, Doubles drafted Kendall Brown. 19, the T-Wolves drafted Jovic. At 20, the Spurs took Liddell. At 21, the Nuggets took David Roddy. At 22, the Grizzlies took Malachi Branham. 23, the Nets took Brokita. At 24, the Bucks took Moore. At 25, the Spurs took Jaden Hardy. At 26, the Mavs took Kamagate. At 27, the Heat took Beauchamp. At 28, the Warriors took Jalen Williams. At 29, the Grizzlies took the best guard in the draft, Sean Montero. And at 30, OKC Thunder took Vince Williams Jr. All right, guys, that is going to wrap up the mock draft. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I already know I'm going to get so much shit for Jean Montero. So just
anyone who stuck around to the end of this thing, Jean Montero comments below, please. Jean Montero, all the comments, one way or the other. Let us know how you feel.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm fine with getting flamed. I got flamed last year for like half my takes. So
some good, some bad, you know.
Yeah. You know, first mock. I mean, granted, I guarantee most people kind of didn't want to say I was dumb.
Well, they got to really earn it if they want to hear pick number 29. Yeah. Let's be honest. We're about an hour and a half in, I bet.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know, if you don't like pick 29 and I end up being right, just remember, that guy knows ball.
He's got your back.
Yeah. This guy right here, the fat guy who sucks at basketball, I know ball, apparently, if I get this right.
I believe.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time.